Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary remain fugitives, wanted by the South African government. What is the mood in Malawi? Are people sympathetic to the couple, or do they feel they should be extradited to face the music? Daniel Mababa, Malawian-based journalist, joins me now to talk about this. Daniel, good evening. It's good to have you with us on the news feed late night. How's the news received in Malawi that Shepherd Bushiri and his wife are back in the country, despite the fact that they're out on bail and face corruption and fraud charges in South Africa?
Thanks for the contact, and thanks for having me. Well, the reactions on the street are mixed, as you may expect. There are people who are happy to have Prophet Bushiri and his wife Mary back home. They know these are Malawians. Whatever happens, they are Malawians. There are people wondering how they got into Malawi, why. Everyone knows they are being wanted, or they are answering court cases in South Africa. And when news broke that they have crossed the borders into Malawi, it was shocking news. I was personally surprised. Like, how did they get away from South Africa? So there has been that mixed reaction. And what now people are debating is would the Malawi government be ready to cooperate with what we are hearing, that the South African authorities have now commenced the extradition processes. But what we know for sure, what I know for sure personally, is that that court process in Malawi will be a long battle, because if Bushiri has left South Africa, he will not want to be sent back there as simple as that. He is prepared to fight that extradition.
Now, speculation in the media when the news broke was that Shepherd Bushiri and his wife could have left the country in a jet of the Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera. Is there any clarity from Malawi as to how the preacher entered Malawi?
That is not so clear. He has not explained how he got here. But I have been hearing from some people close to Bushiri's camp that they used one of our borders via Zimbabwe. Officially, we have been told, and we know the South African government has refuted those claims that he was on President Chakwera's gate. We verified with airport officials from here, our insiders there. They also corroborated that information that Bushiri and Mary were not on that presidential jet. They used one of the borders via Zimbabwe into Malawi. We don't know when. We are hearing it must have been somewhere around Wednesday or Thursday, because they got into Malawi somewhere around Friday. So that is still not clear. But back to back to that issue. Bushiri knows. We know, and like I'm saying, this is one of the lead stories. I mean, back home here in Malawi, people are discussing it. Of course, we are still finding out where exactly is Bushiri, but the fact is he has come in the open to declare he is back in Malawi, back home.
Has President Chakwera made any statements around the false allegations which were dominating South African media? But I even saw some of the newspapers in Malawi were leading with that story as well.
The president himself hasn't made so much reference to the social media rumor going about that he might have whisked Bushiri away on his plane. But the president has indicated that any effort to get Bushiri back into South Africa will not depend on the SADC treaty or anything else. It will depend on what Malawian authorities, particularly the courts and the justice agencies or the Ministry of Justice, decide or determine what it wants to do. And that, I must indicate here, will depend on a form of official inquiry by the government of South Africa.
Yeah. I
have heard your Minister of Internal Affairs ranting on social media, and when I read it, I was shocked. You see, ranting on social media will not bring Bushiri back to Malawi. I mean, back to South Africa.
Yeah. The Minister of Information there, Gospel Kazako, saying, well, there are numerous protocols, as you mentioned, that you would follow as a country, but there would need to be an official application being made by South Africa. But he also says something, and I quote, that there is nothing special about Bushiri as far as we are concerned. Is that true? I mean, are the Bushiris non-entities in Malawi, or are they treated with some kind of special acknowledgement and special treatment?
Well, I don't think I would say Bushiri is an entity in Malawi. I'd rather call him a Malawian citizen. We have thousands of Malawians living in South Africa, and he was one of them. I think what the government of Malawi is trying to do at this point is to ensure that Bushiri is safe. Bushiri has concerns, mind you. We are yet to find out how authentic are those concerns, but he says his life was in danger in South Africa. And I think the Malawian government has a responsibility to ensure that all her citizens outside Malawi are safe. And that is why, when that formal request or formal application for extradition is made before Malawi, it will not be President Chakwera to decide. It will not be Information Minister Gospel Kazago to decide. It will be the Ministry of Justice in liaison with the judiciary in Malawi that must look at what do Malawian laws say about extradition, and not what SADC protocols say about extradition.
And do you think they will cooperate?
I think so. I have no reason to doubt why Malawi should not cooperate with South Africa. You see, South Africa is a key bilateral partner for Malawi on trade and just basic bilateral relations. And South Africa will be the last country that Malawi will want to annoy. Malawi loses out in terms of trade and just basic bilateral relations. South Africa is so key in that area. What I expect South Africa to do is to follow the law, don't annoy Malawi, and that would be it. I don't see the reason why Malawi should not cooperate.
Yeah. Is Malawian government particularly annoyed by the fact that the president was made to wait at OR Tambo? I mean, how is that going to affect those bilateral relations that you mentioned?
Well, I would like to think that's a small matter. Malawi has responded officially. In the morning today, we heard from the president's press office that the president has spoken to President Ramaphosa over the developments, how he was made to wait for over 7 hours for his flight to leave South Africa. I'm sure it was a cordial, a friend-to-friend discussion. But the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here has released a statement that depicts the dismay, the levels of not anger, but the dismay. Malawian authorities are not pleased. I can put that to you. The statement states that clearly. Malawian authorities are not pleased that their head of state was made to wait for 7 hours before leaving South Africa. But I don't think that would be so significant enough to strain bilateral relations between Malawi and South Africa.
I want to go back to what you said earlier on. I mean, is Bushiri and his wife free to roam around Malawi at this point? Are they in hiding? I mean, he is quite a wealthy man and quite powerful, one would say, and has ability to move around quite easily, I suppose, with the right kind of connections.
I mean, listen, Bushiri has no right to hide on the soils of Malawi because he knows he's safe here. Like I indicated, we do not know his whereabouts yet, but he just got here. We know he continues with online services. He's still preaching, but he has no reason to hide in Malawi because he knows he is very safe here. Like you say, he has his security apparatus that I suspect indicated to him, sir, your life is in danger in South Africa. Why don't we leave? So he has his security apparatus. But suffice to say that he has no reason to hide. There is, according to the laws in Malawi, he's a free citizen. Bushiri is wanted in South Africa, and if South Africa wants Bushiri in South Africa, it must cooperate with the laws of Malawi. Like I indicated, Bushiri has the right to fight extradition. I will give you a case in point. Malawi wanted a fugitive, a murder fugitive. Tunya. He lived in South Africa. He fought his extradition up to the Constitution, up to the Supreme Court of South Africa. Bushiri has the same right. And Misozi Tunya roamed around South Africa as a free man because he was free there. He was wanted in Malawi. I do not expect Bushiri to be hiding in Malawi. No.
Yeah. You're saying he's continuing to conduct services online? Is it just only on weekends, or are the services going on even on weekdays?
Services that are going on even on weekdays.
Yeah. And overall, though, the sentiment expressed by the government of Malawi in terms of the treatment that the president received, has it left many in society feeling some kind of way about South Africa and about the way that the president was subjected to that additional security check?
I think, like I indicated, most Malawians are not treating this as a big issue, you know. But I can get the feeling, as a citizen myself, I was like, wow, if that was President Ramaphosa treated that way in Malawi, it was obviously going to be something big. But I don't get the feeling that citizens want to make that too big. It is embarrassing. It's not good at all. It doesn't augur well with partners, countries that claim to be friends. But I do not think most Malawians will regard that as a big thing. Diplomatically, yes. Malawi has a case to complain, but how far will they go? I do not think they would want to take that any further.
Daniel, I appreciate you helping us with that analysis today. That is Daniel Mababa, Malawian-based journalist.